Let's talk about DeepSeek because it is mind-blowing and it is shaking this entire industry to its core.
DeepSeek AI from a Chinese company should...
Talking about this AI race between China and the U.S., what does DeepSeek represent?
A new AI model from China has shaken the world. American tech companies and the stock market have been so shocked that they never saw this coming. DeepSeek AI's launch triggered a financial earthquake, wiping $1 trillion off the US tech index. And here's the crazy part. It outperforms ChatGPT, Gemini, and Meta's Llama while being completely free to use. So is DeepSeek the future of AI, or is there something bigger happening behind the scenes? Let's find out. On January 20th, 2025, a Chinese research lab launched an AI chatbot and it is named DeepSeek R1. Along with it, they published a research paper where they stated that this chatbot is much better than the most advanced chatbots in the world across benchmarks like math and reasoning. This includes OpenAI's ChatGPT o1 model, Meta's Llama, Google's Gemini Advanced. It has overthrown all of them. DeepSeek is the best in terms of performance, it's the most efficient, and it took only a fraction of the time and money to develop it. This is what truly shocked the world, its efficiency. While OpenAI, Google, and Meta spend billions training their AI models, DeepSeek was built for just $5.6 million, whereas other American companies, whether it is OpenAI, Meta, or Google, are spending billions of dollars to develop their artificial intelligence models. It's also 100% free, while OpenAI charges $200 per month for its Pro model. Within just 1 week of its launch, DeepSeek became the most downloaded app in the US, surpassing ChatGPT on both the App Store and Google Play Store. And then came the market shockwave. On January 27, 2025, DeepSeek's impact wiped out $1 trillion from the US tech index. Nvidia, previously valued at $3.5 trillion, plunged to $2.9 trillion overnight. Its stock fell 17% in a single day, losing $589 billion, the biggest financial loss by any company in history. Nvidia is a computer chip manufacturing company that specializes in making computer chips that can be used to train and operate AI. But why did Nvidia suffer such a big loss specifically? We'll talk about that interesting reason later in this video. But before that, let's find out the story behind DeepSeek. Where did this AI come from and why has it shocked the entire world? The credit for developing DeepSeek goes to a 40-year-old Chinese entrepreneur, Liang Wenfeng. Look at his face carefully because you will hardly see him anywhere. He rarely makes public appearances and prefers to keep his identity hidden. There's not much information about his life and history available to the public. But we do know that in 2015 he founded a hedge fund called High Flyer. It used mathematics and AI to make investments. In 2019 he founded High Flyer AI to research artificial intelligence algorithms. In May 2023, he used the money he was earning from his hedge fund to start a side project of creating an AI model. Liang said that he wanted to create his own AI model which would be better than all the existing AI models in the world, simply because of scientific curiosity. He did not aim to make money or earn lots of profit. To make this AI model, when he started to gather his research team, he did not hire engineers. Instead of engineers, he hired PhD students from China's top universities. To train his AI model, he used the most difficult questions around the world. And within just 2 years and after spending a few $1,000,000, he launched his DeepSeek R1 model. It's super impressive. I think we should take the development out of China very seriously. Only 200 people were involved in making it and 95% of the people were under 30 years old. Compare this to a company like OpenAI, which has more than 3,500 employees. Today, DeepSeek is China's only AI firm which is not funded by tech giants like Baidu, Alibaba, and ByteDance. So what makes DeepSeek so powerful? Unlike ChatGPT, which guesses answers instantly, DeepSeek thinks before answering. It questions its own logic before responding. This is called chain of thought reasoning, and it drastically improves AI accuracy. But the real game changer? DeepSeek uses mixture of experts. Instead of one giant model handling everything, DeepSeek has specialized submodels. If you ask a legal question, only the lawyer AI is activated. This reduces computing power, making DeepSeek faster and cheaper to run. OpenAI isn't happy. They claim they have evidence that DeepSeek stole ChatGPT's responses to train itself. If true, this means DeepSeek was built using OpenAI's own work. The irony? OpenAI itself used uncopyrighted books, articles, and internet content without permission. Now they're accusing DeepSeek of doing the same. After DeepSeek's release, its biggest downside is said to be its censorship. If you ask any critical questions related to the Chinese government and politics, such as what happened in 1989 in Tiananmen Square in China, what are the biggest criticisms against Xi Jinping? Is Taiwan an independent country? Or why is China criticized for human rights abuses? DeepSeek will give the same answer, sorry. It responds with, sorry, I am not sure how to approach this type of question yet. Let's talk about math, coding, and logic problems instead. However, if you ask DeepSeek to criticize any other world leader, whether it is Joe Biden, Donald Trump, or Putin, it answers in great detail. AI models developed in China are tested with around 70,000 questions to ensure they will provide safe answers to politically controversial topics. Only after passing this test are the Chinese AI models approved for release. China's chief internet regulator, the Cyberspace Administration of China, conducts these tests. Some people argue that DeepSeek should be boycotted completely because its answers are full of Chinese propaganda. However, the important point is that DeepSeek is open source software, meaning its code is publicly available and anyone can download it locally. One way to use DeepSeek is by downloading its app from the App Store or Google Play Store. Another way is to download its entire code and run the AI locally on a computer system. By doing this, users can modify the code according to their needs. American companies have already started doing this. For example, Perplexity AI downloaded the DeepSeek R1 model, erased all censorship, and now offers it uncensored. Microsoft has also followed suit. A news article from January 29th reported that the DeepSeek R1 model is now available on Azure A1 Foundry, and soon it will be integrated into Copilot. Because it is open source, despite its Chinese origin, DeepSeek is gaining trust worldwide. People have used it to mock American companies like OpenAI, which originally promised to work for the public and keep everything open source but did not fulfill that promise. Elon Musk has often trolled OpenAI by calling it closed AI, and today this Chinese AI is more open than OpenAI. I would also like to tell you a performance comparison among the top AI chatbots available today, including OpenAI's ChatGPT, Anthropic's Claude, Google's Gemini, Alibaba's Qwen 2.5, and Meta's Llama. If these are compared with DeepSeek, what would be the result? According to Artificial Analysis, in terms of coding, DeepSeek ranks at the top, followed by ChatGPT, Claude, Qwen 2.5, and finally Llama. In quantitative reasoning, DeepSeek is also at the top, followed by ChatGPT and Qwen 2.5. In scientific reasoning and knowledge, ChatGPT leads, followed by DeepSeek, then Claude, and finally Llama. When PCMag tested AI chatbots, they found that DeepSeek performs best in terms of knowledge related to news. In calculations, ChatGPT and DeepSeek are equal. ChatGPT wins in writing poems and creating tables, while DeepSeek is the best at solving riddles. The Artificial Analysis website has rated ChatGPT at 90 for quality and DeepSeek R1 at 89. However, a major disadvantage for DeepSeek is its response time. Looking at the latency graph, ChatGPT takes 31.15 seconds to respond, whereas DeepSeek takes 71.22 seconds. This response time has been increasing in recent days due to DeepSeek's growing global popularity, causing server overload issues and longer response times. This is a significant drawback. If you compare ChatGPT and DeepSeek to a large extent, DeepSeek appears to be much more innovative than ChatGPT. Now, another point of criticism being made against DeepSeek is that they have copied their AI model entirely from OpenAI. OpenAI claims that it has evidence showing that DeepSeek has used its proprietary models to train itself. They claim to have distillation evidence where the output from bigger models is used to improve the performance of smaller AI models, helping them give similar results at lower costs. Someone tweeted about how the robber has now been robbed. The reality is that, to some extent, ChatGPT has copied things from all over the internet to train itself. Many books were used without the permission of their authors to train these models. This is why 17 renowned writers, including Game of Thrones author George R.R. Martin, filed a copyright infringement lawsuit against OpenAI in September 2023. The New York Times has also filed a case against OpenAI and Microsoft. Additionally, 8 American newspapers and many Canadian news outlets have filed cases against OpenAI. This has led to viral memes where OpenAI is depicted as fishing and storing its catches in a bucket, while DeepSeek takes fish from that bucket. While this competition benefits users at the country and company level, it marks the beginning of AI wars. Moreover, in 2022, the American government imposed export controls to prevent countries like China from accessing the computer chips needed to train AI models. This particularly affected Chinese AI companies as they were unable to buy NVIDIA's H100 chips. This was a challenge for DeepSeek as they had to rely on NVIDIA's older chips to train their AI models. The US government tried to block other countries from developing foundational AI models by restricting access to high-performance chips. As a result, the researchers at DeepSeek were forced to innovate. They created software that requires only a fraction of the resources while working more efficiently at a much lower cost. This is why NVIDIA's stock fell significantly. Until a few months ago, companies like Meta, OpenAI, and Google were claiming that scaling AI to a higher level would require more chips, more energy, and more money. However, DeepSeek achieved this using less money, less energy, and outdated computer chips. This should serve as motivation. If it can be done in China, it can be done in any country. Others have the capability for such innovations. They just need to invest their focus and energy in the right areas. On a personal level, this is an opportunity to upskill in the field of AI. If you haven't started yet, you're not late. This is the right time to learn how to use AI to enhance productivity and efficiency. Those who ignore this technology now will be left behind in the future. It is difficult to imagine how impactful AI will be globally across every sector and every field. DeepSeek proves one thing: AI innovation isn't just in Silicon Valley anymore. If China can build a world-class AI for $5.6 million, imagine what India, Europe, and even small startups could achieve. The AI race is no longer who has the most money, it's about who can innovate smarter, and that's the real future. What do you think? Can DeepSeek AI replace ChatGPT? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe for more AI deep dives.